Imagine this. A spacecraft the size of a small car, launched more than 4 decades ago, drifting silently into the unknown. Voyager 1, humanity's farthest and loneliest emissary, has traveled so far that the Sun's influence is little more than a faint memory. Beyond the heliosphere, in true interstellar space, it should have been little more than a fading signal in the void. Yet recently, against all expectations, Voyager 1 whispered back, and what it carried in that whisper has unsettled scientists to their core. The detection wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a blinding light or an unmistakable beacon. It came as a faint disruption in the steady hum of plasma waves that Voyager still measures. At first, it looked like noise, just another irregularity in the chaos of deep space. But then the data revealed something stranger. The oscillations weren't random. They had rhythm, precision, even structure, as though shaped by intention. Natural explanations were quickly tested and dismissed. The fluctuations didn't resemble turbulence from solar winds or the influence of pulsars. They weren't echoes of Earth's transmissions, nor the fading charge of Voyager's aging instruments. The spacecraft, remarkably, was still functioning within its expected limits. That left only one possibility: the signal was external. Something out there had touched Voyager. What made the anomaly so disturbing was its purity. Interstellar space is full of noise, atoms, magnetic fields, faint radiation. Yet this signal cut through like a razor, clean and sharp, repeating in cycles that bore unmistakable mathematical symmetry. Bursts of energy came in prime number intervals, woven together with pulses that looked almost like binary. Patterns like these have long been associated with intelligence, with the idea of communication. And here they were, drifting across nearly 15 billion miles, aimed directly at our machine. If it was a message, it was frightening not only because of what it might say, but because of what it implied. Voyager 1 is a tiny object in the abyss, no brighter than a speck of dust against the backdrop of the galaxy. To find it, let alone direct a signal toward it, would require unimaginable precision. Whoever sent the signal didn't just stumble across Voyager by chance. They knew exactly where it was. That knowledge alone suggests surveillance, perhaps even monitoring, on a scale beyond anything we can comprehend. This has led to unsettling speculation. Could Voyager itself have triggered attention the moment it left the safety of our solar bubble? Its golden record, humanity's carefully crafted greeting to the stars, was meant as an invitation. But what if it was interpreted as a trespass? Some researchers have suggested the signal was less of a conversation and more of a warning. The symmetry of its structure, so stark and unambiguous, could have been the equivalent of a universal "do not enter" sign, a marker of boundaries humanity never knew existed. The thought is chilling. Space may not be empty wilderness, but mapped, owned, and patrolled. If that's true, then our solar system might lie on the outskirts of someone else's territory, watched over by forces that long ago drew invisible lines across the galaxy. In that light, Voyager's progress looks less like exploration and more like intrusion. Another layer of mystery lies within the signal itself. Analysts studying its waveform noticed what looked like compression, as though the clean pulses might be carrying hidden information. Much like a radio broadcast can carry both voice and data, this cosmic ping could hold something more, content, encoded within the structure. But without a reference, decoding it is nearly impossible. Was it coordinates? A message of identification? Or something far darker? The prospect that the signal is layered haunts researchers, because if there's more beneath the surface, then the real message hasn't even been read yet. For now, Voyager continues its lonely path, drifting deeper into the unknown. The signal has not repeated in full, but the questions it raised will not fade. Was this humanity's first encounter with something watching from the dark? If it was a greeting, who sent it? And if it was a warning, what happens when we ignore it? What makes this discovery terrifying isn't just the thought of alien contact. It's the realization that we may already be trespassing in a universe that has rules, borders, and powers far older and greater than us. Voyager the first of may have done more than just carry our voice into the cosmos. It may have announced our presence to neighbors we were never prepared to meet. What form would a response from the unknown take? Would it arrive as another signal, stronger and clearer than before? Would it mean the sudden and permanent loss of contact with Voyager 1? Or could it be something even more immediate, something closer to home that we have not yet imagined? These questions have been circling through the minds of scientists ever since the mysterious signal was first detected, and the possibilities are both thrilling and terrifying. What makes the incident even more unsettling is the timing. The signal was noticed during a rare moment when Earth's radio telescopes were undergoing recalibration, a brief window when their sensitivity was at its peak. In that exact sliver of time, the anomaly arrived. Was it coincidence? Or was it a carefully calculated choice, suggesting that whoever, or whatever, sent the signal not only knew where Voyager was, but also understood the rhythms of our own instruments back on Earth? If the latter is true, then it implies something beyond chance. It hints at surveillance, a watchful presence with an awareness of both our spacecraft and our listening habits. That possibility alone unsettles the scientific community. A surveillance net of that scale would be capable of tracking objects across interstellar distances with precision that dwarfs our most advanced technology. It would mean Voyager 1, once celebrated as a symbol of human exploration, has become a monitored object, its faint signal quietly observed by unknown eyes in the dark. Unlike satellites orbiting Earth or rovers exploring Mars, Voyager 1 cannot be serviced, redirected, or hidden. It cannot be shut down or recalled. It will continue broadcasting its thin carrier wave until its power source finally dies. Until then, it remains a glowing thread stretched from human civilization into deep space, a beacon marking our location in a galaxy that may no longer be as silent as we once believed. The psychological weight of this discovery is profound. For decades, the idea of first contact has been wrapped in imagination, hope, and science fiction. We've pictured strange ships entering our skies, or signals arriving from distant planets. What few expected was that an aging spacecraft, built in the 1970s, might be the first to stumble upon evidence that someone else is out there. The fear is not of alien beings with faces or fleets, it is the fear of the unknown itself. A fear born from the realization that space may not be empty, and that our presence may already have been noticed. This encounter has also forced scientists to rethink long-standing assumptions. We often imagined the universe as quiet and indifferent, vast and mostly lifeless. But perhaps silence does not mean absence. Perhaps it means watchfulness. Voyager 1's signal was not loud, but it was deliberate. That subtlety is almost more frightening than a visible encounter, because presence without form leaves us with nothing to grasp, no object to study, no figure to question, only the awareness that something is there. If this was indeed a message, then Earth itself may already have been observed. For over a century, our planet has been broadcasting unintentionally, television, radio, radar, all leaking into space like a beacon. If the signal was a reply, it might not be the first. It could simply be the first we were able to recognize. The chilling possibility remains that other signals have passed us by unnoticed, or worse, that we received them but failed to understand their meaning. Voyager's discovery has also shaken human confidence. We once believed our exploration would be one-sided. We would send signals, probes, and messages until someone chose to answer. We assumed the universe would be passive, either ignoring us or one day returning our call. What we never truly prepared for was the idea that we might be intruding, that our actions could provoke not just curiosity but caution or even warning. And yet, no object has appeared, no ship has been seen. Instead, we are left with a presence defined only by a signal. That, in many ways, is more unnerving. A visible visitor, however alien, could at least be located and measured. But this invisible watchfulness, leaves us blind, questioning where to look and what to prepare for. Was the signal the first step in a longer exchange? Or was it a single, deliberate reminder that we are not as alone as we once believed? The silence of interstellar space now feels different, heavy with meaning. Voyager 1 has become more than a probe. It is now a sentinel, a fragile link connecting us to something vast and unknowable. The terrifying discovery it carried may not have been an object in the traditional sense at all. It may have been a presence, a message, or even just an idea given form through technology far beyond ours. But its implications are very real. The universe may not be waiting for us to find it. It may already be occupied, already mapped, already claimed in ways we cannot yet understand. And through our probes, our transmissions, our restless need to be seen, we may have finally crossed a line we did not know was there. What happens next is not just a question for scientists. It is a question for all of humanity. And it begins, quietly and hauntingly, with a single message in the dark.